This is the account of the heavens and the earth in the day when earth and heaven were created. Before any shrub of the field was yet in the earth, or any plant of the field had yet sprung up, for the Lord God had not yet caused it to rain on the earth, and there was no man to work the ground. But moisture welled up from the ground and watered the whole surface of the earth. The Lord God made man from the dust of the earth and blew into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. The Lord planted a garden in the east in Eden, and there he placed the man he had formed. Out of the ground the Lord God caused to grow every kind of tree that is pleasing to the eye and good for food. The tree of life was in the middle of the garden, and also the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. A river flowed from Eden and watered the garden, and from there it separated into 4 headwaters. The name of the first is Pishon. It runs through the entire land of Havilah, where there is gold. The gold of that land is good. Bdellium and onyx stone are there. The name of the second river is Gihon. It winds through the land of Cush in Ethiopia. The name of the third river is Tigris. It runs along the east of Assyria. And the name of the fourth river is the Euphrates. The Lord God took the man he had formed and placed him in the garden of Eden to tend and keep it. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, "You are free to eat from any tree in the garden, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you must not eat, for in the day you eat from it, you will surely die." Then the Lord God said, "It's not good for man to be alone. I will make him a companion suitable for him." Out of the dust of the ground the Lord God formed every beast of the field and every bird of the air, and he brought them to the man to see what he would call them. And whatever the man called a living thing, that was its name. So the man gave names to all the animals and birds and beasts of the earth. But for Adam there was found no helper suitable for him. So the Lord God caused a deep sleep to come upon the man, and he slept. The Lord God took one of the man's ribs and closed up the flesh of the place. With the rib he had taken from the man, the Lord God formed a woman, and he brought her to the man. And the man said, "This now is bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, for she was taken out of man. For this reason, a man will leave his father and his mother and will cling to his wife, and the two will become one flesh." Both the man and his wife were naked and were not ashamed. Now the serpent was more crafty than any of the other creatures in the garden which the Lord God had made. And he said to the woman, "Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden?" And the woman said, "We may eat fruit from the trees in the garden. But God did say about that tree that is in the middle of the garden, you must not eat from it, and you must not touch it, or you will die." "You will not surely die," the serpent said to the woman. "For God knows that in the day that you eat from it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." When the woman saw that the fruit of the tree was good for food, that it was pleasing to the eye, and moreover that the tree was desirable to make one wise, she took of the fruit and she ate it. She gave some also to her husband, who was with her, and he ate it. Then the eyes of them both were opened, and they knew that they were naked. So they took and sewed fig leaves together and made coverings for themselves. Later, they heard the sound of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool breeze of the day. And they went and they hid themselves among the trees of the garden. But the Lord God said to the man, called to the man, "Where are you?" And the man answered, "I heard the sound of you in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and so I hid." And the Lord God said, "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree of which I told you you must not eat?" And the man said, "The woman who you put here to be with me, she gave me from the tree, and I ate." So the Lord God said to the woman, "What is this that you have done?" And the woman said, "The serpent deceived me, and I ate." So the Lord God said to the serpent, "Because you have done this, cursed are you above all livestock and all other animals. On your belly you will go, and dust you will eat all the days of your life. I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers. He will strike you on the head, and you will strike at his heel." To the woman he said, "I will greatly multiply your pains in childbirth. In pain you will give birth to children, yet your desire shall be for your husband, and he will rule over you." To the man he said, "Because you listened to the voice of your wife and ate from the tree of which I told you you must not eat, cursed is the ground because of you. Through painful sweat and toil you will eat of it all the days of your life. Thorns and thistles it will grow, and your food will be the plants of the field. By the sweat of your brow you will eat your bread, until you return to the ground from which you were taken. For you are dust, and to dust you will return." The man called his wife's name Eve, because she would be the mother of all the living. Then the Lord God made garments of skin for the man and his wife, and clothed them. And the Lord God said, "See, the man has become like one of us now, knowing good and evil. He must not be allowed to reach forth his hand and take from the tree of life also and eat and live forever." So he sent the man forth out from the garden to tend the ground from which he had been taken. When he had driven out the man, the Lord God posted cherubim at the east of the garden, and a flaming, fiery sword flashing back and forth, turning every which way to guard the way to the tree of life. Adam was intimate with his wife Eve, and she conceived and gave birth to Cain. She said, "I have gotten a man with the help of the Lord." Later she conceived again and gave birth to his brother Abel. And Abel became a keeper of the flocks, and Cain a worker of the soil. In the course of time, Cain brought forth some of the produce of the soil as an offering to the Lord. And Abel, for his part, likewise brought an offering, firstborn of his flocks, their choicest portions. And the Lord had regard for Abel and his offering, but for Cain and his offering he had no regard. Then Cain became very angry, and his face fell. And the Lord said to Cain, "Why are you angry, and why has your face fallen? If you do what is right, will you not be accepted? But if you do not do what is right, sin is crouching at your door. Its desire is for you, but you must master it." Cain spoke with his brother Abel and said, "Let's go out into the field." And while they were in the field, Cain rose up against his brother Abel and killed him. The Lord said to Cain, "Where is your brother Abel?" And Cain said, I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper? The Lord said, What have you done? Listen, the voice of your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. And now you are cursed away from the ground, which opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. You will be, when you work the soil, it will no longer yield its strength for you. You will be a fugitive and a restless wanderer on the earth. And Cain said, My punishment is too great to bear. Behold, you are driving me this day from the land, and I will be hidden from your face, and whoever finds me will kill me. But the Lord said to Cain, Not so. Therefore, whoever kills Cain, vengeance will be taken on him 7 times over. So the Lord put a mark on Cain, so that no one finding him would kill him. And Cain went out from the Lord's presence and dwelt in the land of Nod, east of Eden. Later, Adam was intimate again with his wife, and she gave birth to a son. And she named him Seth, saying, The Lord has given me another child in place of Abel, since Cain killed him. Seth likewise also had a son, and named him Enosh. At that time, men began to call on the name of the Lord.